Rather lads, welcome back to the Kossi Arsenal podcast. My name is Kossi. This is your latest Arsenal team news. And Arsenal starting 11 versus Manchester United in what will be a crunchy game. Ruben Amorim will be playing Arsenal for the very first time. Then, of course, Arsenal will be playing Ruben Amorim's Manchester United for the very first time. However, it won't be 2 times only this campaign. It will be more than that. Arsenal are also going to play Manchester United in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. We'll get to that fixture when we get to the date. But for now, it's the first leg of the Premier League. Arsenal host Manchester United in a game that we have to win. Actually, in a series of games that we've got to win. In terms of the team news, there is a lot to discuss. Thomas Partey obviously didn't feature in the West Ham game, and so did Mikel Merino. Gabriel Magalhaes didn't finish off the game, if you remember. And Ricardo Calafiori as well always has something like a problem. So, do we really have the full team available for Mikel Arteta's selection? Probably not. But what I can confirm and what I can say is that at the end of the day, Arsenal should be able to beat this Manchester United team. Obviously, they don't have Kobe Mainoo in midfield. Is that a plus? I don't think so. I think if Eriksen played there with Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro, they're still all right. They don't have Lisandro Martinez, and that's a big effort plus for Arsenal. I mean, think about it. Lisandro Martinez has 1 more interceptions than any other defender in the league so far. So that tells you Arsenal have been given a massive boost with Lisandro Martinez not being in the team. But on our side, I mean, for the Manchester United team news, there's nothing big there. Lenny Yoro could be back. But on our side, could Partey be back? So I was listening to one of these sources very close to Arsenal, and he was saying that Thomas Partey's injury is not expected to be a big problem, and so is Gabriel's injury. The one problem I have is that is that of Ricardo Calafiori, because as he was coming off the pitch, he was holding his inner thigh. That has never been a good sign. Like, those are injuries. You just can't play with them. You just can't run them off. Calf injuries, SCLs, and then those inner thigh injuries. They're absolutely deadly injuries. So Ricardo Calafiori could be a major doubt for me. I think Mikel Merino will be back. We don't know what was wrong with him, really, but he will be back. Partey is highly likely to be back in this game, so Jorginho could go back to the bench, and then obviously the big one, Gabriel Martinelli also didn't play against West Ham. Now, Martinelli has not played he has not started any of the last 3 games where Arsenal have been absolutely on fire. That is West Ham, Sporting, and Nottingham Forest. Is it a trick for Mikel Arteta to rotate his players? He's done it very well ever since coming back from the last international break. He's been rotating players, taking Odegaard off, taking Saka off, with 20 minutes to go, with 15 minutes to go. Is that what is happening with Gabriel Martinelli? We will find out against Manchester United. But this is my starting 11 versus Manchester United. In goal, no questions, David Raya has been really good for us this campaign, and I think he's confident. He's more confident than he was at the beginning of last season. You can see, a goalkeeper that players trust, but also a goalkeeper that is ready to, come in and deal with all sorts of, all sorts of issues and all sorts of problems. So David Raya definitely starting in goal. Now, we might not have Ricardo Calafiori, and that begs the question, right? That begs the question. There is Kieran Tierney, there is Lewis Kelly's out, he's injured. So there is Zinchenko and Kieran Tierney. Of course, you have Jakub Kivio, who is also available. But do we switch Timber to left back and then probably tinker with the right back position, like playing Thomas Partey there? Mikel Arteta has done it before. It hasn't really worked when he's done it. So I don't want to say, and it has worked, right? So there are questions about the back four. But what I would say is keep Timber at right back. And the reason as to why you've got to keep Timber at right back is because Manchester United's deadly attackers are very comfortable on that side of the pitch. Think about it. Marcus Rashford attacking you on the left, you want a player like Julian Timber. If Garnacho is there, you want a player like Julian Timber. As opposed to the right-hand side, which would be our left-back position, I think, Garnacho is a little bit wasteful. Even if he plays there, he's not the player in form, really. Yeah, Zaxi could do a bit of damage, but I'm not really frightened about the power they have on the right-hand side, right, as opposed to their left-hand side. So Julian Timber, for me, sticks at right back. So then the question becomes Zinchenko or Kieran Tierney. Tomiyasu is not 100% back. It's going to take him some time. So you have Kivio as an option. You have Zinchenko as an option. And then you also have Kieran Tierney as an option. I would love to see Kieran Tierney, but this is a game that you don't introduce a player who's been out of action just like that, unless it's Saka or Odegaard. So I'm going to keep him out of the starting 11, Kieran Tierney. It's a difficult one for me. Zinchenko defensively will be targeted. But Jakub Kivio doesn't give you the mobility Ricardo Calafiori does. And I highly doubt Ricardo Calafiori is going to be available for this game. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to risk Alexander Zinchenko. He will be targeted. There's no question about that, right? He will be targeted. But I don't think Kivio is even the much better option. So Zinchenko and Julian Timber in the wide areas. I know people won't like that, but I don't think we have a lot to do about it, by the way. I really, really don't. Now, Gabriel, the defender in form, scoring goals, defensively clean. He's got to be in there. I think his injury is not that serious, together with William Saliba. Saliba, has anyone noticed that Saliba has been he's clean, but he's been kind of quiet ever since that red card. Like, I don't know. I mean, I've not noticed anything bad or poor in his performances, so I'm going to leave it at that. That would be my back four. And the role of this back four is not going to be as intense as when we played Liverpool or when we played Chelsea. I think Manchester United going forward are still a little bit relaxed. I looked at them at against Everton. They played a very, very successful game. Like, their game plan was successful, but also very, very lucky. I mean, how do you play Sean Dyche's team and in the first 20 minutes, they're pressing you and they're winning all possession? Like, you just can't explain that, can you? And because of that, what I want to say is that this Arsenal backline is going to be very, very crucial in helping us, push forward, right? They should be able to help us push forward. They should be able to get that free spare time to help us in attack. I don't think they're going to be... of course, I think the strategy for Manchester United is going to be playing the balls in behind for Rashford, Zaxi, to run onto Rasmus Hojlund and Garnacho, and we should be wary of that. But apart from that, I don't think Manchester United is the team that's going to have possession for 20 minutes, pinning you back and causing all sorts of problems. Now, in midfield, we are a little bit light, right? We are a little bit light. I'm hoping PARTEY is back, right? I'm hoping PARTEY is back. Very important player. We can't afford to not to have him, right? So I'm hoping PARTEY is back right in that DM. Because, again, they don't have Kobe Mainoo. They don't have Lisandro Martinez, right? Those are the two players that are so good at carrying the ball from deeper areas into advanced areas, with Bruno, of course. I think if you're PARTEY and they don't have Lisandro Martinez and they don't have Kobe Mainoo, you're just running this midfield for showbiz. Odegaard, there's no question about that. Mikel Merino is not available or wasn't available, but I pray he is. So Martin Odegaard, obviously the creative spark. You know what's funny with Odegaard is that when he is in the team, other players are creating chances as well. And we can even score goals without him being involved, which is like rare, but it happens. But when he's not in the team, the creativity just dies down. Like no one's is trying to create. And then finally, Declan Rice. I don't know, Rice this season, he's so far away from the Rice we saw at West Ham and the Rice we saw in our first season. And that could be just because Declan Rice is playing in a new position, but I can't tell why his performances have kind of dropped really. Other players, they're picking up, they're picking form. Odegaard is picking form. A couple of other players as well. The defense is picking form. It's just Rice that has not really come around yet. Ever since that Brighton game, prior to the Brighton game, he was anonymous. Then he came into the limelight when he got that red card against Brighton. He's never been the same again. But this midfield, again for me, without doing a lot of work, should be able to overthrow the Manchester United midfield. I don't see problems up until this point. Up top, goals are coming, right? Goals are coming up top. Goals are coming up top. I don't know. Now, I'll prefer Martinelli to start. I don't know why Mikel has actually dropped him for the last 3 games. As far as I remember, when Arsenal were going into the international break, he had scored against Chelsea. He had scored against Shakhtar. And then there was like, go to the bench. Like, I've not understood it. Trossard has played a little bit better after the international break. And so have other players. Why Martinelli has not got his chance, I'm not sure. Is it about rotation? Probably. Probably it's something else. Maybe it's a slight injury. But I would love to see him start in this game. And the reason that's why I would love to see him start, the likes of Mazraoui and Amorim's strategy as well, it's about committing many players in attack and really committing. So if you have Mazraoui committing and the likes of Diogo Dalot committing, that means that Saka and Martinelli could have a lot of space to run into, and we know how quick they are. So Saka as well, and then Kai Havertz. Gabriel Jesus, I'm not sure. I've seen rumors that Arsenal are open to selling him, and I don't think that. I don't think the rumors in the past were wrong, and I don't think the rumors right now are wrong. So this would be my starting 11 against Manchester United. Listen, alternatively, if we don't have Partey, or if Partey is available and Mikel doesn't want to use Alexander Zinchenko, there's an option of, Timber coming in at, left back, and then Partey playing at right back. I've never, apart from the Liverpool game, I've never seen Partey comfortable and successful as a right back. Like, I've never seen him there, and I've never loved him there and the idea of playing him there. But if the manager feels he's comfortable there, then 100% we could see that.